Alright guys, I figured I'd throw the camera on real quick. Kind of do like a little inventory video to show you what I have as far as casting and reloading goes. Um, this is my little shed. I think it's something like a 12 by 12 shed. And I do a lot of different things in here. It's not much, but it gets the job done for right now. It actually, for me, it works pretty well. In the winter, I come out here and I'll cast. I also have like mechanics tools and a bunch of other stuff out here. I have some foundry type, some clays, you know, a bunch of house stuff, some wheel weights, and then a bunch of other stuff around here. That's the casting pot with the fan to ventilate. The hot plates under it with the new Lee C312. I think it's C312, whatever it is, 312 155 for 762 by 39. I have a little PID I built. I got the idea from Johnny's reloading bench, I believe it was, and I kind of wired it up my own way. It's not like his, but it works. It's not perfect. I stole this little idea of putting it right to the spout from Elvis Ammo, and it's worked out good. I did notice it's something like 20 degrees outside right now, so if I plug this in and let it boot up, it should say something like 50. 40. It's not 40 degrees out here, I'll guarantee you that. So it is off a little bit, but it helps maintain temperature. And then, you know, I have this area. Usually I'll put one of these pans right here, throw all my sprues in it. When it gets full, I'll scoop them up with a spoon that's on top of the pot right here, throw them back in the pot. I'll drop stuff that I'm not water quenching on this red tail right here. If I'm water quenching, a bucket goes there. And then I got my little space heater so I can stay warm. You know, I do a lot of mechanic stuff. It's what I do for a living. I also like doing metalworking and stuff of that nature. It's a little packed in here. I would love to build a building at some point, but for right now, it works fine. It's my first house, and I'm trying to keep it simple and not spend a whole bunch of money. But you know, I kind of just want to do this as an inventory and to give people an idea. You know, if you're first starting out, you don't need a whole bunch of space to really do casting and reloading. In all reality, this casting setup, it would fit fine on a little table out front of your house or out back your house or wherever you want to do it. So long as you can run a short extension cord to it, nothing like a 100-footer. I think it would draw too much from the pot and it just wouldn't work out that well. But, you know, you don't have to have a ton of room to do this. Ideally, I'd love to have like a 4-car garage, but it's just not in the books for me right now. And there's my baby, my 2008 Fat Bob. Can't wait till it's warm so I can ride. The wood stove, hopefully that's going in at some point so I can have actual heat out here versus my little camp stove that's my heater at this point. But overall, you know, that area is not bad. So if you'll hang out with me for a second, we'll take a walk in the house and I'll show you the reloading area. Come on, guys. Come on. Guy, come on. Good boy. So a little walk through my house, a little breezeway. And then we have this little storage room off to the side. We store a bunch of junk in here, you know, and our water system, stuff like that. I keep a lot of stuff in here. And this is how I have it set up in here. It's a little tight in here, but it works. You know, I have my powder coating and brass drying oven. I use this for big brass now because I dry tumble stuff and I don't like the nitty gritty and all the dust, so I rinse it out in water and I'll shake it out as best I can, and then I'll stick it in this oven because right now it's too cold to leave it outside to dry. I store some of the molds on top of that because I'm short on space. Down here is gun cleaning, mold, sizing die like Lee sizers, the push-through sizers, you know, 22 long rifle, a little bit more lead. To the left of the bench is just empty cases for storage. Underneath I do like the red Maxwell cup jars. They're all cast bullets. They might be powder coated, might not be. Over here in this little white thing is a bunch of different stuff. Gas checks, powder coated bullets, lube, stick lube I bought from White Label Lube Company, I think it's called, or lsstuff.com. Good lube. That's 45 ACP brass because I don't load 45 anymore. A bunch of bullets and cast stuff. Same over here. I have loaded stuff that I'm awaiting a good day to go try out. Just a bunch of random stuff. These are empty jars of absolutely nothing. Here's some more loaded 4570 I did the other day that I want to test out. I don't think this is the wad cutters though. No, these are actually, no, I loaded these a while ago. I lied. These are some 4570 hollow points I cast out of the same alloy I did the 10mm stuff with. I want to test those out. I have a funny feeling they're going to be entirely too soft for the purpose I'm trying to use them for, especially with the load. But here, that's hopefully going to be my chronograph setup. My tripod broke on me. That nice, lovely little crack, so it doesn't hold very well. I tried gluing it back together, it didn't work. I'm going to end up putting a self-tapper in it. But the loading bench, you can see, it's nothing fancy. I got a little light. I have the lube sizer, and that's the only press I have right now. I sold my Dillon. I sold a lot of my reloading stuff to fund new firearms or house repairs or whatever. That's my only powder measure. That's my only scale, which as of lately hasn't been very accurate, so I need to replace that at some point soon. And then I just keep random stuff laying around. Over here is kind of a junk drawer filled with all kinds of stuff. A case trimmer, some pulled down 223 bullets, the pins for my Mehec mold, and I think actually my NOME molds might be in there too. This is a junk Fowler dial caliper. It works, but it's not that great. You know, bullet puller, little stuff that I don't want rolling around the dog's getting into. And down here, I try and do powders down here. All my dye sets. All that stuff. And then primers all the way in the back. At some point, I want to get a different setup where I can keep powders over here and primers separate. I want to try and separate them more than what they are right now, but space is limited and I don't quite have the storage to do so. But, you know, it's not much. There isn't that much room. In all honesty, it's probably, this little area is probably, shoot, I don't even know, maybe 8x8, if that. It's not that big at all. And there's a lot of other stuff in here, like a TV. You know, I stack stuff on here. This is supposed to be a table for my wife to do her college work and all that stuff on. You know, first house, trying to figure it out. You don't have to have a ton of room to do this stuff. So long as you want to do it, you'll find the space and the means to do it. That's what I've been doing so far. Hopefully, when I get a little further into this stuff, I'll be able to acquire all the great things I see people have on YouTube, like Elvis Ammo, Fortune Cookie, Loads of Bacon, Timothy Robinson, Thor's Axe. There's so many people on YouTube I look at what they have and I go, man, one day I'd love to have that. And that's all it is one day. I know at some point in time I'll collect enough stuff. This is only, shoot, maybe 2 years, maybe a little over 2 years worth of stuff collected. And I've sold off a lot of stuff to fund other projects and house repairs and whatever I needed money for at the time. So, oh, I got my little Mech 600 Junior. I think it's a Junior. Yeah, it's a Junior. 12 gauge. I don't know if I'm going to keep that guy or not. But I just want to do a short video and give you guys an idea of the fact that you really don't need a ton of room to do any reloading or casting. Honestly, I could probably do everything I do right now on a table about the size of this, sitting out in my living room in front of the TV. Not necessarily in front of the TV, but, you know, I can move it around, stick it in a closet, do whatever I got to do. But I also wanted to do this as an inventory thing to say, okay, well, here's a video reference. If anything, God forbid anything ever happens and someone breaks in the house or something like that, you know, you can see, I can see, someone else can see what is supposed to be here. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments or you want to suggest different ways to set it up, I'm all ears. Please stop barking, Brody. Yeah. Have a good one.